If you're a guy who has any skin in the game when it comes to dating, being online on dating apps like Tinder and Hinge, or just cold approaching and meeting girls in real life, going on dates and actually fucking smashing, which, if you're not lying to yourself, that is probably your fucking end goal in most cases, then you know just how fucking brutal it is for most guys who are probably aware of the access and the total control over the dating market that girls have. Girls can open up dating apps, girls can go online, and they can receive hundreds of fucking messages, hundreds of fucking likes at the drop of a hat, whereas guys, it's the complete opposite. Most guys sit on Tinder and they are lucky to get one like a fucking day. One match a day is like a fucking golden scar for a lot of guys, okay? But girls, they could spawn in a new fucking city in the middle of fucking nowhere. I live in a fucking like country kind of town, right? They can spawn in a girl from anywhere, can spawn in, make an account, and in 2 hours they can have fucking 1,000 likes. You know, their thing, 10 minutes into making their Tinder account, will pop up with that, you know, that little 99 plus like symbol. Well, maybe you don't, because most guys don't even fucking get that because of how brutal the dating market is and how much control girls have, right? But girls can basically make a dating account and get unlimited fucking options, unlimited likes, get everyone access to whatever they want, whoever they want at the drop of a hat. Basically, girls have so many fucking options, and it's so predictable that the next guy that they swipe on will probably like them, that they get so much fucking control. And honestly, being on dating apps and even analyzing guys in the real world is kind of like a fucking slot machine, okay? If you've ever played fucking slot machine pokies, you know that you literally just keep pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing until you win, okay? And it's exactly like this for girls, right? They sit there on their Tinder, on their phone. It's just left swipe, no, left swipe, no, left swipe, no, left swipe, no, left swipe, no. There's a guy that's like semi-attractive. He's got a decent picture on there. She kind of like pauses for like a quarter of a second. Nah, it's not a fucking win, off, right? And then there's finally a guy who's pretty attractive. He's kind of like a Chad. He's a bit of a stud. He's got some nice pictures. She goes through one picture. Oh, that's nice. Second picture. Oh, that's nice. Third picture. Oh, that's nice. Oh, he's kind of doing something weird there. Nope. Fucking off, right? So even the guys that are super attractive, just fucking up with one little thing, they're off. The slot machine keeps fucking going. These girls keep playing it until they get a special feature, and that is a very rare case. You know, if you're playing fucking pokies, it's not that often where you get a special feature. So this phenomenon where girls are literally playing Tinder like a fucking slot machine makes it very, very fucking hard for guys like you and me to stand out, especially if we come from a shit position, especially if we're not the most, you know, naturally attractive guys. So what do we actually do? How can you actually avoid the phenomenon? How do you actually become a special feature and actually win their attraction and get them to like you, get them to match with you, and then get them to actually want to go on a date with you and not just lead you on like half of them will even when you match with them, okay? What you need to do is you need to appeal to biology, because the apps and the dating world in the real life is basically all based on attraction, okay? We're looking at a 0.1 second response to someone, right? The girl will swipe, no, he's yuck, no, he's yuck. He might be the nicest fucking guy in the world. He might be super fucking caring and super charming and have a lot of riz, but if he doesn't have that attraction point on, it's over. It's out. He doesn't even get a fucking chance. He doesn't even get his foot is not even in the door. So it's fucking over already before it even started. We have to appeal to primal desire. We have to make it so striking. We have to make our appearance so different to the average guy that they basically have no choice but to stop playing the slot machine and actually see you as a, you know, as a special feature, as a fucking jackpot. Because in a sea of guys who are just completely fucking average, the only way you can stand out is if you are extraordinary, okay? And the way we're going to be extraordinary is by triggering a response of pure primal attraction. And the way we can do this, you probably know what I'm going to say, it's to build a physique that is attractive to the girls. So you literally have no choice but to have them liking you because their brain can't help not to like you. It becomes a case of just like how we see a girl walking down the street, she has a fat ass and nice tits and a nice hourglass physique. We cannot help but find her attractive. We need to achieve this in reverse. So we need to get the physique that makes us like this, but in the women's eyes. And that is by building the V-taper lean aesthetic attractive physique. Number one, we need to focus on being lean firstly, okay? We don't want to be a fucking fat chud. So we need to understand that every single day it is our mission, it is now your mission to complete 12,000 steps per day, especially if you've got some blubber around the gut to lose right now. Get walking. Go for a walk in the morning. What I like to do myself is go for a 30-minute walk in the morning. Then a bit in between every meal or after every meal, I'll go for like a 15-minute walk as well. And you'll notice that the steps completely add up at the end of the day, okay? You can do this on your lunch break. You can do this if you're a busy tradie. It doesn't matter. You can be walking around. You just need to get moving so you can burn excess body fat, get lean. Then inside of the gym, we need to focus on building the female gaze muscles. We're basically focusing on shape and we're focusing on creating this V-taper, which is achieved by focusing on our lateral deltoids, our lats, and our biceps and upper chest. It is these muscles that literally force attraction and are literally just biologically attractive, because in a girl's eyes, if you have a 1.6x shoulder to waist ratio, you are attractive. And if you have a nice picture and you know how to present yourself and package yourself, which again I teach below, you will stand out. Because the reality of it is, and I've seen it myself firsthand by sitting next to girls and watching their Tinder and watching them scroll and seeing just how brutal it is when they scroll left on every single guy, except for maybe 1 in 100, and they don't even message him when they match with him, by the way. Okay? I've seen that most guys are fucked up. They have a shit physique and they're fucking standing with a fucking picture of a fish on their profile. They've got a fucking picture of them sitting in their 4-wheel drive, of them camping, of them with the boys doing a fucking cheery smile, holding up a fucking jug of Guinness or holding up fucking alcohol. It is the most unattractive thing. So you got to think about it again as that slot machine analogy. If these guys are just those shit, hits that don't win any money when you're playing the machines, suddenly she swipes and she sees this fucking, holy fuck, this guy with this fucking sex appeal physique come up, then you are standing out so fucking much. You are literally giving her no option but to swipe yes on you, especially if you know how to package yourself in an attractive way throughout the rest of your profile, or just in the real world as well. You carry yourself appropriately. You are not just a complete gym cell retard. You actually have social skills. You actually are charming. You actually look like you can dominate and like you can hold masculine frame. Then it is literally fucking over. It is literally free at that point. And the really good thing about having this fucking jump scare effect on girls on dating apps and in the real world, when you present yourself with an attractive physique and you have everything else packaged properly and you're well-rounded, is chances are your attraction will lead the game and allow you to get your foot in the door to going on dates and to meeting up with these girls and to getting attraction and to getting opportunities. And when you have that, there is less reliance on trying to be a jester and trying to be weird and trying to win her over through other special weird tactics and faking confidence and shit like that. Because honestly, a lot of the times this shit doesn't fucking work, because guys like you and me, we have this weird tendency to basically fuck up our chances with the more things we say, okay? We might have a nice one-liner, we might have a few like good jokes, but after a while, we kind of fucking start to lose a bit of momentum and the conversation dies off, or we get a bit more like, unsure about ourselves and we lose that perceived confidence. And that's when the girl gets turned off. But if you have an attractive physique, you're giving her more lenience to forgive you and to find you more attractive and to let weird things that you say pass, because you're appealing to her biological desires, the fucking tingle inside of her pussy, realistically, okay? Whereas the guys that have the fucking fish photos, one, they don't even get matched with, and two, if they get matched with, if they say the wrong thing once, it's fucking over. But when you have a physique, then there's so much more you can get away with. There is so much more access, and honestly, if you're already at the top, if you're already built that physique and you have that attraction, she's already matched with you, well, like I said before, so many guys are just looking like shit and don't know how to present themselves that you're already in that top 1% of guys. So realistically, she's probably only got a few other guys on her mind that are competing with you to actually get the date, get the attraction, and get laid, etc. Okay? So that is why you have to build a physique to beat the slot machine phenomena, okay? Because unfortunately for guys, it's never really going to be like this unless you're a Giga Chad, ultra blessed, genetic outlier freak. Unfortunately, you're probably not going to have these results, okay? Maybe you can build up to this, but from the get-go, guy versus girl in a natural sense, a girl is going to have way more control over the dating market. So the only way that we can win is by appealing to pure biological attraction, primal desire. We do that by building the attractive female gaze physique that is tailored to what the girl thinks about, to what the girl wants, to what she's fantasizing when she watches sexual romance, when she watches films on TV, when she reads dirty fucking deprived fucking books, okay? You need to build that physique. You need to replicate and emulate that exact level of attraction. And when you do that, you will beat other men and you will give her no option but to swipe yes, but to see you as an outlier. And that is how you get attraction. That is how you actually fucking stand out and beat this bullshit slot machine phenomenon, which is the reason why so many guys are fucking lonely, insecure, and they still feel invisible forever. I do hope this helped, and if you want the full Ascension protocol on how to actually do this for yourself, how to build a physique and present and package yourself as an attractive guy with any fucking genetics, because I was fucking completely chopped and I'm doing it myself. So I have skin in the game and I'm teaching you how to do it myself, one-on-one. Check the link below. It'll be the best decision that you fucking make. Remember that progress is purpose, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.